welcome back to day 2 of Calling All Heroes. I'm so happy that we're back. We had an amazing day 1, and going into day 2, it's just going to be even better than rounds 1 through 3 from yesterday. I'm Nevo, joined by the wonderful and talented Mothview, who's also my main support. Let's go!
Let's go! We get to have the Fruity Cast.
We had the Fruity Cast today, the Fruit Salad backline. We're not quite playing today or this week, but we are going to be playing and watching you guys, do amazing. Speaking of you guys, we have Emergy Amethyst coming up on deck versus UD Phoenix, so let's talk about them for a second. Emergy Amethyst, as we see their rosters, their players today, here are all of them in their glory. Vaxis on that diva, favorite character diva, may I say. Sophie Neko gonna be in that DPS, duking it out with their tank there, and then Sea Bunny and Frostbite coming up on the backline with the favorites of Mercy Lucio, which we did see a little bit of that, I want to say with Cats yesterday, that backline, so very interesting to see. But regardless, that's Emergy Amethyst and their opponent today, the head-to-head UD Phoenix, coming back after a hiatus from the Calling All Heroes scene, and I am very happy to see them back, right, Moth?
Yeah, I'm very happy to see them back, and it looks like they've got a new roster going with them as well.
Yeah, they do. They have Lauren, they have Vivi Lou, Wacky Squid, coming on that front line, and then Octopeo and Shooter Mag on the back line of things. And like you said, very happy to see them come back, and with a whole new roster. Hopefully it will be for this minor, the next major, and the next circuit, right? So I'm always happy to see so many teams participate in Rising. We have a whopping 16 now.
Yeah, 16 teams in this one.
That's incredible. Last one was, I think, 12 or 13, right? It was still really high.
Yeah. It's really cool to just see how Rising is able to grow.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we started off, when did we start? We started Fruit Salad, and we had 6 teams last time.
Yeah, I believe Fruit Salad made an appearance back when Ka first started with 4 teams on Rising. So it's been really cool to just get to participate and watch how we've grown. Just see all the teams slowly pile up, more and more competition.
And it's getting, the competition is getting more and more difficult as it goes on. I mean, last minor was an intense grand finals, all the way up to top 4, but as you can see, we are starting off on Busan first and foremost for this round 4. Emergy Amethyst and UD Phoenix, what are we expecting to see today, Moth, comp-wise, especially on Downtown?
I mean, I would like to see maybe a little bit of Monkey. That might be wishful thinking. It looks like we're going to have Diva instead, which I think is a little bit more sensible with the way the game's been playing out. Looks like Emergy is getting a little bit quirky here with Hog. I'm not sure if Vaxis is playing with us a little bit or not. Looks like we've got the Lucio Mercy backline running with it, which if they do stick with that, I think the Hog makes sense. You get that sustain with the Hog. Although, they're good. They swapped to the Diva. Much more sensible.
We got trolled. It happens to all of us. Ooh, the entire comp just swapped. We're gonna be seeing the Juno Brigida in the back line versus the Juno Moira. Moira having been a little bit more of a pick I've been noticing as of late in these exchanges. So, dive versus dive. I mean, we've already lost Livy so early on to Sophie on that Widow, breaking havoc on that high ground, while of course Vaxis is gonna be duking it out right in front of UD Phoenix's face on the Diva. And I feel like that was just the team fight has been won. It was so clean off of just the Sophie pick on May.
It was a very quick fight too, and that's something that's going to be characteristic of a Diva Juno comp. It's just a matter of who's able to play it quicker. And with Emergy, with Genji instead of the Tracer and the May, who have to play a little bit slower, play around walls, you're just able to get faster with Emergy.
Absolutely, and they're still going around this main side, looking like Lauren can be meeting Vaxis on this high ground here, but gets quickly pushed off. Vaxis very comfortable on this high ground, making sure that their Widowmaker has all this space to work around with, and just like that, Shooter Mag unfortunately gliding a little bit too close into the sights of that Widowmaker. Again, objective still heavily in favor of Emergy Amethyst.
Yeah, when you're playing with a Widow on the map, you gotta be very careful about watching where your head is. And I know Basan, a little bit difficult. I tend to get my head donks on it as well. UD Phoenix just needs to play a little bit safer with that cover, make sure they're not getting poked out, make sure they're not getting their headshot.
Arguably, they could probably send up their diva to do something about the Widow, because the only real person who can contest Lauren might be just Neko and back to appeal for the Widowmaker, right? So hopefully that's the option they're going to go for, but it looks like instead UD Phoenix is going to go all the way around the coastline and kind of catch the MG by surprise, going to be finding their way on the objective, and find their way off into the sky as well. Oh my goodness.
That was quite a play there from Vax's. I do like to see the diva just moving fast, being just without mercy on anyone. I did like UD Phoenix's idea of trying to go on the coast end, but you do need to be careful with that. Just be a little bit more careful, and I think that they'd be able to get the point with it.
Oh, for sure. Be very mindful of the diva boosters that can boop you off, the Brigida whip that can also just kind of boop you off that side. But looks like they're going to go down lane again. 92% on the objective. No ultimate really being expended until right now. We have the rally being utilized by Frostbite and just kind of clearing the space with the Brigida. They get shut down by Shittermax torpedoes, but the blade just to cover it up. And we're also seeing the Diva Bomb as a last minute resort for that second life. But Lauren gets sought out before the remake ever happens. That's the first map, first round, may I say, going over to Emergy in a very convincing manner.
Yeah, I do think that the last fight, Emergy definitely had the advantage there with just all those ultimates they were able to pop. I mean, you want to use them in that last fight anyways, but they had every single ultimate lined up, while UD Phoenix just wasn't really able to get any ults out in time. I do think that May ult could have been really advantage for them if they were able to play it. But new map, it's a new look for UD Phoenix as they make some swaps with the Orisa and the Echo. I'm curious to see how this is going to work. I'd imagine they'll probably be trying to take that drum side, try to brawl it out a little bit. Just, you know, walk past the diva, get into that back line. It looks like they're going to be playing that Venture too. When you have that Venture, you really want to make sure you're following up on where your Venture is going. So I'm curious to see how UD Phoenix is going to coordinate this.
I will say I am a big fan of the UD Phoenix comp a little bit here because it requires so much coordination with that Venture, with the Sojourner as well, for those off angles to boot, right? Why is C-Bunny in the back line? Sorry, the overhead was showing C-Bunny just like behind UD Phoenix. And no one turned around to look at her. That was hilarious. But as you mentioned, the drum gonna be the place to start this first team fight, and just like that, dissipated almost immediately. Emerging Amethyst opting to kind of push back, go to the objective, and force UD Phoenix to come to them now, having so much space in their disposal. I mean, I love Neko on this Genji as well, putting a lot of pressure with these shurikens and with that kind of assassination damage. Just like that, look, we've already gotten rid of Livy here, and just pushing back the rest of UD Phoenix to spawn. This is a great start for MSG to get 2-0 so far.
Yeah, I would like to see UD Phoenix play a little bit more bunkery, a little bit less of their backline as vulnerable as they ended up being there. I think Emergy just played a better, like, poke style comp, oddly enough, despite them being a little bit of a dive-oriented team. So I just think UD Phoenix needs to be just a little bit more careful about that poke, maybe play a little bit faster.
Absolutely. I had to agree here. They had to be a little more confident with that Venture. Venture burrows, they pop up, and then you're able to find so much value off of that damage that Venture does provide to the team, that kind of shock value. But I mean, Emerging Amethyst is like a defensive wall. They're not allowing any sort of advantage to be given to UD Phoenix. The pulse is ready for Sophie. It goes wide. Doesn't quite get wacky, but C-Bunny up there just to make sure that her teammate gets the value that she needed. Now the rally can be expended as a response. Here comes the Juno ultimate, which absolutely just runs over that rally by 10 times. Such a strong ultimate to have built up so quickly for Emergy.
I think that was a really good use of Brigitte ult. It was just very unfortunate that it immediately got followed up by that Juno. I do think Juno has one of the most powerful ults in the game at the moment, which it does look like UD Phoenix is going to come up on it. I would like to see them use it early, maybe use that Venture ult that they've got as well, just to try and, you know, force Emergy to move out of their way a bit, brute force it.
Oh shut No blade for you, I see. Absolutely wonderfully done by UD Phoenix to shut down such an impressive ultimate. Here comes Diva Bomb as well. It doesn't really find much, but we are getting the remake just in the nick of time. Can we find another hit here? The May Freeze is expended really early on. The Mora doesn't really have much faith here, so Otto has to be so careful before getting pinned down by the Diva Faxes so often. Sophie getting the pulse bomb on Wacky Squid, making sure they get their redemption. And it looked like it was going to turn to UD Phoenix for a second, but unfortunately, it is MRG who finds the footing again, takes it 2-0, 200% to 0 on control.
Yeah, I think that map, a lot of it is just showing just how powerful that Juno Diva combination has been. It's been meta for quite a while, since Juno came out, I remember correctly. And it's just staying a very strong composition. MRG's been playing it very well, very wisely, not letting UD Phoenix being able to poke into them with that Orisa. I think I did like the Orisa swap. I don't think it was a bad thing. I just feel like if you want to do that, you have to play a little bit more of a bunker type. You want to look out for your backline a little bit. Although UD Phoenix did make some really good plays there. I was really proud to see some of the stuff that they pulled.
Being shut down Neko's Dragon Blade, which they were holding on to for quite a while, just for that last engagement, was super good for UD Phoenix. But I feel like once they got that Genji Blade shut down, they kind of fell apart a little bit, funnily enough, where they were looking at multiple targets. There were multiple 1v1s kind of happening, and there was no real target focus. Even they were up by a player, right? So I think it's a little bit of like some tightening on that focus. They had great ultimates, I must say. Great ult usage.
Yeah.
They used the Juno ult in Conundrum with the Venture ult, I believe, and it was just very well timed. So I don't think they have a problem with the ultimates in general when they're able to feel like they can actually use it to win. I just think that a little bit of target focusing, a little bit more cohesion would benefit them greatly as we start going into our map 2, which looks like it's gonna be Midtown.
Midtown is a very interesting map. I know our team personally, we love Midtown. It's a very fun map to play. I feel like that Diva composition that MRG is running is still going to be viable, but we could also maybe see a little bit of change into Brawl, which I do believe it might be UD Phoenix's comfort, because that Orisa that we saw is a Brawly type tank. So I would like to see maybe they use the Brawl to their advantage. If not, they lean into that Diva play a little bit, or if they want to get a little bit different with it, they could try the Winston, maybe a Doom. I would rather a Winston over a Doom, but that's just my personal bias. I just think the monkey character is funny.
See the monkey character, we can see the Sigma character, we could see Diva come back, because both of the tanks on these rosters did have Diva set as their favorite tank, so that's a comfort pick at the end of the day for both Faxis and Lauren. So very excited to see what comps will be rolling out with, especially on the defense side of things, which MRG has decided we're gonna defend first. We're gonna see how long we can defend this objective, and it looks like we are gonna be getting the Sigma from MRG on the defense side of things. UD Phoenix looking like they're gonna be teasing the Orisa comp from before.
I do like the Orisa comp, and I feel like it can be a little bit powerful against MRG if you play carefully. They're playing with that Mei, so they want to be able to just wall off. I am curious as to how that's going to work. I usually feel like playing around a wall type of comp would work a little bit better if you're defending versus if you're attacking. But I would like to see them, try to play around those walls a bit. I do think MRG has a lot more poke ability, so UD Phoenix is going to have to play carefully around that, because you have that Sigma, who is a very pokey, brawly tank, and you've also got that Pharah and that Ashe.
Yeah, they're going for a full poke here, you're absolutely right. And especially on Midtown, where this first objective can be a little bit difficult to push through against a poke like Sigma Ashe Pharah. I'm excited to see how UD Phoenix is going to adapt to this kind of situation. Big wall off, but even bigger pick from Sophie. Wacky Squid might have gotten a great wall there to kind of cut off Sigma, to cut off Vaxis from attacking UD Phoenix, but I mean, being picked off like that so early, not what you want from UD Phoenix.
Yeah, I think UD Phoenix is going to have to quickly, figure out that they need to play a little bit faster, run into them a little bit, take advantage of whenever they see cooldowns getting used. Just make sure that they're not wasting things right away. I do like this rotation that they seem to be making going into that alleyway there.
Oh, for sure. And Neko is there to meet them from the high area. Octopeo immediately gets pelted down by these by these rockets, may I say, and everyone else. I mean, it's gonna be Wacky Squid all by their lonesome, trying to get out of there immediately. And it was a good rotation, but just wasn't executed fast enough.
Sophie out here is hitting all of the shots. I really do love to see it. I do think UD Phoenix, honestly, I would kind of like them to try and mirror a little bit, just to do a little bit of poke v poke action. Especially with the way they've been playing, I think that that would serve them a little bit better.
Oh, new rotation just dropped. Here we go. Sophie all the way in that front line has to back up to the staircase of the subway station. I love that Sequence taking this very aggressive angle on the fire truck here, but has to be so careful. That health bar getting super low. There's no pylon, but the barrage is expanded. Neko goes down for the count. Lauren tries to javelin spin it away from her, but Sophie finds the value with those aforementioned headshots on Lauren.
I really just think UD Phoenix is just getting outpokes. Maybe they need to play some different characters here. I think really only like the Orisa needs to be swapped. However, they are slowly building up on that ultimate, a little bit slower than I would like them to. They do have Juno ults. If they use that Juno ult and they just rush into it, play it, be safe about just staying in that ult, I think they can try to get this point. I am curious to see what type of rotation they're going to pull this time. They've given us a different one each time, and every time it's not been a bad one. It's just a matter of speed.
Flux comes through, but finds almost nothing. Here comes the Hyper Brain. They're going to go fast with the Juno ultimate. There it is, Moth. That's what I've been looking for all day. The buff has to be expended here. We have the Captive Sun. It goes to the back line. It finds not one, not two. That's the Bob coming in clutch as the 6th player on this team for Emergy Amethyst. Sophie is just having a field day with this Bob. The Coalescence does come through, though, and we aren't able to fade away from to safety for Octo, so it's gonna be Vaxis still alive, still cleaning up very nicely for themselves. Not even a tick on the board here.
UD Phoenix is going to have 2 ults left. They did use 3 in that fight, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I would like to see them use that Mei ult just to try and just prevent the Emergy from being able to really do anything. Hopefully we can see that be used in this fight. Vaxis is very quickly building up on another ultimate, so I'm curious to see what UD Phoenix is going to do in reaction to that.
Oh, on my bab! Oh, get back! Oh, yay, Yari! Absolutely great blizzard coming in from Wacky Squid. Kind of on a mini flank there. I think around the telephone box. Here comes the Flux. Vax is so low, sub 200 health. Can they clutch it out? They gotten rid of the support. They've gotten rid of Mei. It's just Orisa left against 3, and they clean it up. Neko might be going down, but they've gotten a tick on the board. It is holdable, Moth. It's holdable.
I believe UD Phoenix can maybe hold it down. MRG did pull a really clean hold on this map, though. I think that Sigma comp is just really good. It's just a lovely composition for being able to hold. So you just are able to poke out any sort of angle that they try to go to. But without a Yari and Bat backline as well, you're just able to get a lot of damage in. I'm curious to see what UD Phoenix is going to be performing for their defense. I would kind of like to see their attempt at the Sigma composition. I don't really know if Lauren plays the Sigma or not, but we'll see.
Oh, we're gonna see in 2 seconds. Oh, ooh.
Oh yes, they are on that Sigma composition. This makes me happy. Emergy is going to be playing the Orisa comp. Looks like they're just going to be swapping. I'm curious to see if Emergy is going to try and show them how it's done on the Orisa, or if UD is just going to show them like, hey, this is why that composition doesn't work. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, not to have any bias, I'm hoping that UD Phoenix is able to keep this hold, that they're able to keep Emergy from touching.
It's not biased. We want to see 3 games. That's why.
We just want to see a full series. Yeah.
We just want to see a close, full series. No bias whatsoever. But also, you know, clearly UD Phoenix kind of the underdog here. They are going up against Emergy, who has done significantly well in previous Calling Out Heroes tournaments. So UD Phoenix coming in with a whole new roster. They're a little bit of the underdogs, but they have done some exceptional work in these little pockets of team fights, right? Especially on Busan, now on Midtown. I love the rotation here coming in from MRG, but we walled off the Arisa immediately. Oh, that's huge. But MRG Amethyst is able to recover pretty quickly away from such a bad situation. And now we're back to the poking phase. It's all up to either Sophie or Livy to get a pick here on the Ashe.
I really like watching Ashe gameplay. I don't know, something about it just like kind of scratches my head when you see them get those ticks out. I don't know, it just makes me happy. I do think that the Emergy does look like they're trying to go in a little bit. I do enjoy this. I think this is a bit of a dangerous room for them to play in though, especially with the pokeability of that Sigma composition.
So early on, may I also add, so you've lost your finisher, you've lost your Genji that's meant to kind of distract, finish off low targets, and then like kind of get that blade up, right? The Terrorsaurs already gets expended, and it finds not one, but two. Emergy cleaning it up so quickly after a lost teammate so early on in the previous fight. The coalescence from Octopeo is utilized here. They're going super low. Neko finishes off Wacky in the back line, and Octo has to throw out a healing over and get some more healing for herself. Before all that, the hands have been expended. We have the rally as well for Frostbite. I mean, it's just one tick. There's no way for UD Phoenix to attempt to retouch. Oh, me when I lie. Never mind, I told the truth. Oh, me when I lie. Wait. Alright, no, me when I told the truth. Very well done from MRG. UD Phoenix also having a really great moment. I mean, it was a good series.
I think UD Phoenix played really well for it being their first time for this Academy team specifically to be showing up. Every single player being new to the Rising scene. I think they did really well. Especially since MRG is a very strong team. I think at the end of the day, MRG just has better coordination with each other, and they were able to act a little bit faster with the rotations that they made. They didn't stay in one place for too long, which is something that you really want to look out for when you are playing in Poke-type compositions. Is if you're staying in that choke, you're just going to end up dying. I think UD Phoenix, as we continue seeing more of them, I do believe they have the potential to become really powerful. I know the old variation that was just UD Phoenix without Academy at the end. Frostbite was a member of it too, I believe. They started out a little bit slow. We started out a little bit slow too. But, you know, you find your footing. You find your footing as you continue playing together and as you continue getting more and more familiar with the other teams in Rising. So I'm very excited to see that happen for them.
Absolutely. Every single player in Rising has leveled up so much. So as you start off in Rising, you're gonna level up to the potential of like an MRG Amethyst to a Lava Lilies Rising, right? But before we get into all that, we do have to cut to a very quick break as we wait for our round 5 on stream matchup. So we'll be right back with that for you guys. Hello, everybody. We're back, and the sun is here in my apartment, but we're here for that round 5 matchup. It's a complete banger. You see on the top, it is Kaiju Core versus Lava Lilies Rising, and I'm Samat Nevo, joined by the wonderful Mafia for this round 5.
Hello, I am so excited to get to see this matchup. Kaiju Core has been a long-standing team in the Rising scene, and Lava Lilies has been consistently one of those top teams, always in that top 3 section. So I'm very curious to see, I'm just very excited to see how this is gonna go.
Hey, speaking of Kaiju Core, here's of course their roster. They did pick up a couple new players. We do now see Sorry coming over, transitioning to Kaiju Core on on that coveted Widow. They're so good at that character, so I'm expecting to see a lot of maps that kind of benefit her in the map pool, like a Cirque or something like that. But otherwise, we're still gonna have Tangerine on that tank. We have Sorry, we have Sandbox as a DPS line, and of course the back line gonna be Hollow Can't Aim and Bitsy Robin. So again, couple new players, couple new strategies. I'm glad to see what Kaijikor has been cooking between the previous minor and this minor. And Lava Lilies, after a very hot win in their Swiss round 4 against Timeless Nightmare, going 2-0. Here they are, the one, the only EU team. We're gonna be still seeing the same guys who have been on a tear recently. Blood Bunny on the tank. They, them. They, them at Lilac. They put Lilac back in, Moth. It's an exciting day.
Back in.
They put Lilac
day.
back in. It's a wonderful day. And Tycho and Queen Bee on the back line for Lovely is pretty much unkillable. I'm excited to see how it's gonna work out. This is a banger we have on set on stream for us right now.
I'm very excited to see. It looks like we're going to be going into Ilios as the map. I know Lava Lilies really likes to play the dive type of compositions. They may have put that Junker Queen down as a favorite character, but I know Blood Bunny is a diva enjoyer. So I'm excited to see what they do on Ilios. I'm sure they're going to be playing that diva.
They're getting playing that diva. I'm expecting a Lucio comeback, from Hollow, for example. Get those boobs wherever you need them, specifically on Well, on Lighthouse as well. And then when we go to Ruins, I'm definitely wanting to see the camera shine on Sorry and see what kind of shots she can take on that Widowmaker. But first and foremost, we are making our way over to Lighthouse. It's a little more grounded, a little bit more brawly, could be, but also Dive is can work especially well here.
Yeah, and I was mentioning how Blood Bunny is really good with that diva. Sandbox God, or sorry, not Sandbox God. Tangerine is also a diva player, and looks like we're gonna be seeing them run out with that diva. Blood Bunny's gonna be running out on the Winston. Looks like we've got the classic dive competition with that Brig on a backline. Sorry versus they them as Ash is gonna be a very exciting competition to see. I doubt they're actually going to be running that Junkrat. Do not troll me with the Junkrat.
Oh, they will.
Oh, they will. Oh, they will.
Oh, they always do. They always do, but it's all in good fun. Ooh, stop playing with me. They're going to be Ash for sure, for sure. Running it out. We have the Diva versus the Winston. We have the Ash versus Ash. We have Sandbox God on the Genji versus Lilac on that coveted Tracer. I'm excited to see the positioning here. Already Kaijikor stationing on the Lighthouse itself, while Lovelies is opting to get a little more space going around for themselves here. Ooh, Tangerine gets booped off the high ground, but comes right back. And unfortunately, Winston coming in, Blood Bunny has to be a little bit careful how they approach as they try to keep up the backline of Tycho and Queen Bee, who's on the Ana Brigida.
Tangerine is just staying in their faces, not letting them really be able to actually move out of that building. Looks like Lilac's able to get a pick. Starts to do that Lucio fight. I always love fighting with a Tracer as a Lucio. It's just very exciting.
You know what sucks though? They've lost Blood Bunny. They've lost their Winston. So the first unlock of the objective goes towards Kaijikor with little to no resistance without a Winston to help them out here. Lovelies has to come back, has to regroup a little bit until the Winston comes back and get everyone back to full health, which Queen Bee is doing an exceptional job of making sure that happens. The nade expended for themselves, however, means that the dive for Lovelies has to be a little more coordinated, a little bit more careful. It starts off onto Sandbox God, but they get out pretty much unscathed, and it's another full reset here as the objective has gone over 25%, and everyone's burning! Everyone's dead! Tycho going down, but we trade off for Hollow Can't Aim. But you lose your Lucio, lose your Brigida, you gotta wait.
Yeah, I really like to see Lava Lilies starting to come back. They played that slow and patient, waiting for their Winston to come back. Looks like they're gonna be diving on that Sorry now.
Yeah, but Sorry able to get out. Ooh, Nano expended, Juno expended, the Bob is there from they, them to put some extra pressure. No one's dead yet. We get the remake for Tangerine, and a Hollow Can't Aim just burns down they, them's Bob immediately. The pulse bomb is expended from Lilac, finds nobody, gets swung so wide. The team fight is going on. It's about another ultimate gonna be Tycho's own rally, getting shut down by Tangerine, and it's a lot more blue in that kill feed than pink there. You can see Moth, but it still looks like Lovelies might be able, or absolutely will be able, to finish the team fight, but without losing about 75% of the objective already.
I believe if Kaiju Corp is able to touch and be able to recontest, they should be able to win off on this point. They are coming up on their own Bob as well as their B. I think that if they use these ults correctly, they can get good value, keep that Bob in the point, use that B for sustain. I know Hollow sometimes has a history of Ajaxing, but overall, pretty good at using B. Feel confident in their ability to keep up.
Ooh, Sorry gets saw out so quickly, forced out in the open by they, them, and just gets shot, immediately killed. The Primal comes through, Lilac takes the advantage of the distraction from the Primal and shuts down Hollow can't aim. Now they're without Sandbox God as well. Lilac popping off on the Tracer. They put Lilac back in!
They put Lilac back in, and Lilac is showing why he is one of the top Tracers on this series. Just getting his kills, playing strategically, playing slow, waiting to just pounce in.
Oh, look at the patience. I love the staging here from Lava Lilies. You have the backline of Tycho and Queen Bee uncontested on that high ground. And you get the D-Mech. Sandbox God turning up the pace here. But Blood Bunny was unable to really stay alive throughout that entire excursion. Sandbox God finds two. Queen Bee avenges her Tycho, but it's all for nothing as the objective falls right back into Kaiju Core's hands here.
It looks like Lilac's going to be playing safely in their backline, getting ready to try and use a pulse bomb, maybe. I would like to see that be used. I do see Lava Lilies has that ult advantage as they've got Nano, they've got that Bob. Bob immediately going out onto the point.
As long as they can contest it to 99%, that's even better. They've expanded the Bob already, so there's no overtime Bob to be seen from Lava Lilies on Kaiju Core's recontest. So I'm very interested to see how Lava Lilies will be working around the Nano and the Pulse Bomb from Lilac.
Yeah, Kaiju Corp does have the Bob of their own. They've also got that Diva Bomb. They're coming up on Juno as well. If they get that Juno up in time, I think that they should be able to get the point back, make it theirs. Lava Lilies is just going to be playing patiently. Ooh, Nano coming out.
Coming out, but ooh, Blood Bunny is so low already. Have to get out immediately. And the Reaper from Sandbox God going to be shredding this Winston. And Tangerine just shuts down Lilac. The Bob is on the point. It flips right underneath Lava Lilies' noses. And who's going to dare touch when there's a Bob there? I mean, it's not going to be they, them. It's going to be Hollow can't aim. But they're shut down by Sandbox God again. I mean, it's just a wonderfully recontested fight from Kaiju Core, having the more sustainable ultimates like Bob.
Yeah, that Bob and that Juno ult in the ending fight there really were valuable, and they used them wisely. I'd like to see the coordination that Kaiju had too. You could see that they were target focusing with each other, working just hard together to get those, like, get the squishies down, take care of the Winston. New map though, it looks like Lava Lilies is going to be swapping to Orisa. Lilac on that Symmetra again, I assume just to get the teleport out. Kaiju Corp's also going to be doing a teleport, sticking with that Reaper and the Diva. I really must say, I like the speedy composition.
Yeah, I was going to mention the Reaper again. They're probably expecting the Winston to make a return on Well here on Ilios, which Winston could do so well on, but no, Blood Bunny going to the coveted Orisa, and I'm very excited to see, you know, what is the plan here now that we've gone over to the Orisa. We have the Juno Brigida backline as well for Lava Lilies, where Kaiju Core is going for the ultra speed comp of Juno and Lucio, but now you're half speed. Only Juno can really be speeding the rest of Kaiju Core as they've lost Hollow can't aim almost immediately, but will it matter? They, them, doing a great job by staying alive on Cassidy and demeching Tangerine at the same time as a big, great start for Lava Lilies. Much better and more consistent than round one.
I do think that the Brig Juno backline serves a little bit better than a Lucio Juno line. Just because with that Brig Juno, you're able to get a little bit more sustain, a little bit more bursts of healing, whereas when you're playing with that Lucio Juno, you have to be a little bit more patient. Have to wait out for that healing, and that's just something you can't do. They are going to be swapping to mirror the Orisa, which I don't dislike.
She can only be herself, especially when they, them, just gets the kill back onto Sorry. Oh my goodness, the Sandbox got in the air, uncontested, not once, but twice! And my Juno has to find a way out, but Queen Bee does not! Can't find the value to get away from this fight. It's all up to Blood Bunny to contest for a little bit longer. Get a nice clean 40% on the board and counting before flipping into Kaiju Core.
I really like, again, how you can see Kaijikori is really working well together to make sure that they're coordinating on who they're targeting. They're using their cooldowns wisely. I do like the Echo here in comparison to the Lilac on the Genji. Lilac's a very good Genji, but Echo just able to get in the sky, do a lot of poking, get that burst damage out.
And all the pressure is on for Sorry to, I'm sorry, for them to be dealing with that aforementioned Echo from Sandbox God. Big spear, even bigger pick from them onto Sorry. That's a great opportunity for Lovely to start things off, especially if they have a flanking Cassidy who has a Deadeye ready, but them gonna be using it here as a response to the Juno ult and finds 3 for their efforts. Absolutely well done. I saw them going around and I was like, oh, here comes the flanking Deadeye.
That was such a well-timed Deadeye too. The second that Juno ult came out, that Cassidy just comes up behind very patiently, uses it, gets 3 of them out, preventing them from actually getting value out of that ultimate. I'd really like to see that. I am curious as to who Sandbox God is going to dupe. I would like to maybe see dupe on the Genji, maybe. I don't really know who they plan on duping, but Lilac does have that ultimate out as well.
Ooh, the rotation around the objective gets saw out by the Queen Bee's of ultimate there from the Juno, and Lilac finds Sorry on that Genji, but there's a trade-off of the Cassidys. The duplicate is onto the Juno, likely trying to find a Juno ultimate of their own, but unfortunately just gets burnt out of the duplicate. Ooh, Bitsy Robin shutting down Queen Bee. This is a messy team fight, but it's looking a lot more favorable for Kaijikori than we had previously thought. Great stuff from them.
I really like to see how Kaiji played. However, Lava Lilies does have 91%. They only need to do one more touch and recontest to be able to win this point, and then they'll put us out of 1-1. Pretty even fights, I must say.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry's gonna have that Deadeye, but Blood Bunny is the only one that really has a Terror Surge available to them, so... Oh, but they then popped off. There's no Sandbox God. There's no Echo. There's no vertical threat, so that means Lava Lilies can just go right on in. Here comes the Deadeye coming in. Doesn't find anyone, just right in the face of the Orisa. Here's a Terror Surge, and Sorry can't get out in time. Neither can Bitsy Robin. Lavalu is so dominant in this fashion. 95%. Can we get a contest with Sandbox God?
Looks like they're gonna be swapping Sorry onto the Tracer to try and get that touch in time. I don't think it's gonna work though. I'm pretty sure Lava Lilies has this down.
Yeah, especially when you have Hinder right in Sorry's face. Yeah. They're not going to be able to find any sort of contesting after Sandbox God. It is 1-1. Now we transition over to the Ruins.
Ruins is possibly my least favorite map on Ilios. I can't say I'm a very big fan of it, but that's just me and my own bias about it. It looks like we might be sticking with the Orisa comp for Lava Lilies. Kaiju's going to be going back to D.Va. I am just wondering how the Orisa is going to be played here. I know Lava Lilies really does like the dive, so I'm a little bit surprised to see that they wouldn't stop to that.
I think Bloodblade has been very confident with the Orisa as of late, just first of all being a great Orisa player and Orisa being a great character in the pool right now. Sorry, going for the TP, could be swapping over not to a Tracer, not to a Genji, but the Widow. This is what I've been looking for all day. It is they, them versus Sorry. Whoever gets the first pick will be spelling victory for this first fight. And already, is a battle around this Mega, around the coast. Double Hyper Rings are out. We are going to be seeing Kaijikori going up to the high ground and going to the back line, but having to kite out almost immediately. And a Hollow can't aim. A little too slow on the pickup for the Lucio. And they them getting sought out by the Sombra. I'm shocked they're going Sombra after such polarizing changes they've made to the character.
Yeah, if you want to play Sombra, if you want to have Sombra work, you have to play her in a bit more of a brawl type of sense. I don't think that works too well. Ooh, Sorry hitting that headshot. Nice.
Sorry simply hits those, and that's going to be the biggest factor. It's not going to be the Orisa. It's not going to be the Genji. It's Sorry on this Widowmaker, who is a fiend for this character. I am looking all 4 eyes at her.
It looks like Lava Lilies is going to be swapping off of that Widow, maybe not wanting to take the duel. I don't think Cassie is a bad swap, though, and it's certainly not a swap out of being like, okay, you got dipped, because that I wouldn't consider to be that type of situation. I just think Cassie works better.
I completely agree, but I mean, Sorry was getting chased down by the Orisa, still finds Queen Bee just gliding out in the air a little too long as the Juno. But Lai and them, I mean, they pick it right back up and pack the side of Kaijikor back to the spawn room. Good contest, even better Diva Bomb coming in from the very top. It finds nothing. Do we get the remake? We absolutely do. Oh, and we also bait out the rally after a team fight that arguably I would say was already lost for Kaiju Core. That's a huge support ultimate that Lavalies has now expended on just people trying to recontest and stagger out this objective until 65% has been flipped back to Lavalies.
At that point, I wouldn't have continued trying to run in. I would have just walked back or died and accepted my fate. Just get that regroup in. I don't think that stagger was necessarily worth it. It does get them to 65%, but I don't know if 65% is quite enough to justify that.
Oh, here comes Juno ult coming in from it's Bitsy Robin, and it's a trade-off. Taiko for Sandbox God. High Noon coming through from they, them. The DM allows no one to get much value, but Hollow can't aim. Unfortunately, just in the grasp of they, them's pistol here. But, ooh, they're getting shot down from all angles. They can't get much value. Couldn't even find Itsy Bitsy Robin before going down for the count. And it's a recontest coming in from Blood Bunny, who is going to be shut down with Sandbox God on that Sombra, who is, again, just the hack and the virus combo, now just basically being a tank shredder for someone like Orisa. Great option from Kaiju Core.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about seeing Sombra on the map, but I do think they're playing it appropriately. Looks like Tangerine's going to be trying to get that remake back in. Oh, Des died with it though. That is unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, and the blade is ready for Lilac, but ideally they should be able to kind of take this fight pretty cleanly without having to expend ultimates and, you know... Oh, we're recontesting. I love you, Hollow. We got 90% basically on the board here. Recap to the Lilies.
I do want to point out that Kaiju does have 89%. If they are able to recontest this, which hopefully they can be able to do with that B and that EMP, I believe they could maybe stop Lilies from being able to touch map. It does look like they're getting held back a little bit, not able to really move much though.
I mean, Orisa's just a stalwart kind of character, but big rotation on the left side. Ooh, but they're leaving Sorry behind, and Lilac knows that they want to go for this Widowmaker. No way! We solo Blade the Widow! What do you mean? And they're able to come right back, Blade right in, Territory just out and about. And I think Kaiju Core just waited a tad bit too long for that rotation. We've gone from 45% to 90% of Lava Lilies. They have maybe one last touch, I'm not sure. Sorry on the Tracer, might be able to get there in time with a couple of blinks. Not like this.
No.
Oh, they made it. Oh, they made it. Here comes High Noon. We get boot away, but Hollow can't aim. It goes down. There's a rally coming through. Tangerine has Diva Bomb. Are they going to be able to stay alive long enough? They're not. It's going to be all up to Itsy Bitsy on with the Juno ultimate to maybe find something, but no. Lava Lilies just did a fantastic job of just keeping Kaiju Core in that little spawn area a little bit too long. Wow.
I think that was an unfortunate case here of just Kaiju just staggering themselves on that recontest instead of trying to get one in and then touching it all at the same time, which is unfortunate, but it happens.
It is what it is. Play the game going, of course, do they, them. I mean, it could have gone to either DPS from either team here. They all did absolutely amazing. But I feel like the Cassidy pick was a very good choice. Decided to just, okay, let's ignore the Widow. You know, let our Genji go in and kind of bother her a little bit. You know, do what Genji does. And then just let Cassidy ruin everyone else's life. Hollow can't aim, couldn't really go around, couldn't really speed around just because flashbang, the hinder exists. The Cassidy tracking for the event was so good. So I mean, Lavalies really packed it right up very nicely on that last objective, where it really did look like for majority that Kaiju was gonna take it.
Yeah, I would like to see Kaiju playing a little bit more with that brawl, like that Orisa. I would kind of like to see them mirror it because I think they played really strongly there. I low-key feel like if they stayed on the Orisa that they could have won that map.
For sure. I think they absolutely could have, but I mean, I still I mean, still, I do think that the hold they were able to take, kind of ruined them a little bit. Lovely's just held them at that mega pack little area underneath the Colosseum, a little too long, and
Yeah.
you know, and it was a little tiny bit detrimental, just tiny bit detrimental to Kaiju Core, as you know, Lovely's basically wasted time. Their strat was, hey, waste time. We're gonna waste 40% of their time. We're gonna get from 45 to 90%, and by the time we finish the team fight, Kaiju just couldn't recontest safely without essentially just staggering in for a lost fight.
Yeah, I'm hoping that with this next map coming up, we see Kaiji playing a little bit more coordinated together, staggering themselves a little bit less. I do think that was still a really close matchup, though, so hopefully, I'm excited to see what comes next.
It was very close, and I feel like Kaiju Core are okay with kind of playing into the strengths of their DPSs, from Sorry and Sandbox God. Like I mentioned earlier, they might go towards a more circuit Junkertown. Excuse me if those aren't in the map pool, but something with those long sight lines might be really beneficial, regardless of if it's X-Score or if it's a hybrid map. Even something like a Flashpoint would also work with Sorry on that Cassidy, and Sandbox God going back to the Echo. I think that was probably one of the best picks that we really saw, was the Echo on that first objective. Even though it was lost on Well, I think Sandbox God did a really good job of being a kind of a nuisance in the air on the Echo.
Yeah, absolutely. And it definitely took away Dathem's attention from being able to focus on really getting targets on anyone else, just because you have to worry about getting that Echo in the sky. And Lilac could also swap to help with it, but I don't think that that's really worth swapping at that point. Like, it's better to keep your FDPS on that Tracer or on that Genji, like we saw.
Little eavesdropper. Looks like we're gonna be going over to Midtown first and foremost. Depends on who's gonna defend first. It doesn't matter. Likely Lava Lily is gonna be choosing to defend first, as they are the winners and they can decide that side. But we saw a little bit of that early. We saw the Sigma. We saw what? My producer just blocked me from seeing the chat.
Our producer is trolling us.
I didn't know it was like that. That's insane. I've now gotten access back to some sneak peeks. Like I was saying, we saw the Sigma earlier in our previous series with Emergency Amethyst. We also saw the Orisa make a comeback. I mean, Diva was also there. It's such a flexible map that you can really play around between objectives A, B, and C. So I'm actually kind of glad we're going to Midtown over like a KR or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Midtown too. I mean, earlier we said we like Midtown. I might get tired of it, might not get tired of it, but like, I'm just excited. I don't know. I'm a Midtown fan. It's such a fun map.
I live here. I live in Midtown.
You live in Midtown.
I live in Mid. Like, I like Midtown because I know what I'm looking at. Like, oh my god, my trains are right there. That's crazy. It looks like Lava Lilies will be opting to go on the attack phase first, and Kaiju Core are going to be defending first. So Kaiju Core has a little bit of a mountain to climb here, as they are down in the series right now. So getting a good defense on Midtown, ideally on that very first hold before the objective tick markers are any sort of menace to really deal with, you know, on the attack side. So I want to see what Kaiju Core is going to run here on the defense. I really do.
And honestly, I know you mentioned wanting to see the Echo again. I feel like we can maybe see the Echo again if we're on Midtown. Get that person in the sky just poking things out. You could maybe do a Far too. I know we saw a little bit of that the other day on Swiss earlier. So maybe we'll see some flying again.
Well, we might see some flyers. I mean, go for full fly team. Diva, Mercy, Juno, Echo, Farah. See what happens.
You see, I was just thinking, I wonder what would happen if they did just go for that full-on fly comp with that Diva too. Just get everyone up in the sky, collapse down on them, boom, you don't see them coming.
Just look like just be annoying. Just be in the air like a little like fly. Like,
exactly,
you can't get me. So yeah, Midtown's gonna be our map of choice. And again, could be Risa, could be Sigma, could be Diva. We could be seeing. I think we are gonna be seeing Sorry back on that Widow. I think we're gonna be seeing the opposing, of course, they them on the Cassidy again. It could really go either way, but as we have started assembling our heroes, we'll be getting a sneak peek as to what either team is running here as we go towards the Pigeon Camp. Hello, Pigeon.
Hello, pigeons. I always adore seeing the pigeons. They make me so very happy. I'm sure you get to see pigeons in real life every day as a resident of the mid. I, however, don't get to. This is the only way I get to experience pigeons,
You
so...
can't be resident of the mid. I mean, yeah, everything out here is mid. But no, I had pigeons like that. You know, one time, quick story, you had 30 seconds. I was cleaning my apartment one time, you know, doing usual adult things, and then like I hear the pigeon cooing outside my window. I'm like, oh my god, pigeons are outside my window. Let me go look at them. I'll go to my kitchen where the sound's coming from. I'm like, huh, this cooing is a little bit closer than I thought it was. Why is there a pigeon in my kitchen?
Oh my goodness. That is something I would never experience.
He was in my kitchen just chilling. I had the window open for some fresh air, and he was just cooing. I was like, get out! And I had to open the window all the way so he could like fly out, and I've never had them come back, and now they hate me. But Kajikor and Lava is running the Orisa here, looking like an Ashe duo versus the Reaper versus the Genji. But very similar backline where Kajikor is gonna be running that ultra speed comp.
I do think we are going to continue seeing that same backline from Kajikor, just as Lucio is a comfort pick from Mahalo.
Ooh, Juno's B ring getting expended pretty early on and kind of an uncomfortable, awkward position. Lava Lily's on the attack phase, just kind of walking and taking a lot of great angles around this first area of Midtown, kind of forcing Sorry to back up and be a little bit cornered because he doesn't really have the space to run around with. Ooh, Blood Bunny going straight in for the kill, and the torpedoes coming in as an assist for they then finds Tangerine, and looks like, I mean, Kajikor falling all over the floor, spaghetti in the spaghetti on the floor, Blood Bunny teabagging.
You know what? I was snooping a little bit. They were asking for permission to teabag Sorry, and permission was given. It's fair game, whatever.
Hilarious. Oh, and Sorry just gets picked off so early on. Didn't even have time to set up. I mean, Lovely is already basically playing at second.
Yeah, Lilac is just going really far forward here, just very greedy. I do like that they are holding this far forward though, just keeping Kaiji from being able to touch as they have their one pushing. Them already does have Bob built up. I would like to see a bit of a greedy Bob with the way that they've been playing, although I get the feeling they're going to be a bit more patient than I would be.
Oh, big push here, but even bigger ultimate coming in for Orbital Ray, may I say, from Queen Bee, finds Itsy Bitsy Spider, sorry, Itsy Bitsy Robin, who responds with, of course, their own Orbital Ray, but it's just shut down. So much more space being given to Lava Lilies. Not even given, they just forcibly take it away from you. And this payload is running through the streets of Midtown so effortlessly.
I think Kaiju needs to play a little bit more coordinated. You do see them working together with that push we had earlier, but I think they just need to coordinate a bit better, have a bit more focus. Does look like they are going to trade off backline very quickly. Ooh.
For long though. Oh my, it's a stomp right now. With all due respect, 5.5 minutes on this initial push from Lava Lilies. Give me seeing a slight swap coming in from Sandbox God. I love the Sojourn pick here. Because of, you know, she's gotten some recent buffs, right? She's kind of, you know, come back a little bit as a character.
Yeah, I don't think the Sojourn is a bad swap at all. Kaiju does have their Orisa ult. They could run in and use it, just get in onto the backline early off.
Now with Blood Bunny peeling almost immediately for their, for they-them there. Here comes the Swords coming in from Tangerine. Everyone kites out of it except for they-them, who barely gets their toesy-woesy stuck in that ring of fire. Here we go. The Bob goes completely wide, goes all the way to the back line, and I'm not sure if he's gonna get too much value as the cart now basically rolls right around that little corner on Midtown. 4.5 minutes left. The Blade's ready for Lilac. We have the Terror Surge from Blood Bunny. And Queen Bee is going to be building up that orbital array extremely quickly.
Looks like Sari is going to be swapping over to Cassie here, maybe to play a little bit of a closer fight. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I feel like the Sari on Cassie might work a little bit better with this competition. Hollow does get the ultimate out, good.
Thought that they were going to actually get an Ajax just because they got sucked in so fast from Blood Bunny's Terror Surge, but thankfully recovers very nicely with that sound barrier like I mentioned earlier. We do have the orbital ray ready for Bitsy Rob, and I want them to pop it quickly, just like this, boom, as a response to the Dragon Blade, but Sorry just couldn't get out in time. Gets sought out by Lilac, and Bitsy Spider, Bitsy Rogue, sorry, is gonna be the next one on Lilac's kill feed. Now here it is. Blood Bunny's Tangerine is so low just to get the care that they need. And it's another very cleanly done team fight for Lava Lilies. The cart should be able to push with 4 people. And Blood Bunny's making sure that no one's going to be able to touch with the Javelin Spin from the Orisa.
I love when they put Lilac back in the fight. Did you see how beautifully he was able to clean up and secure kills as Genji? I feel like Lilac is one of the strongest Genjis we've seen. I mean, we've played with him as a team before, and he was terrifying, and I was so glad to have him on my team. I'm so sad to watch him just fight and get all these kills. Terrifying player.
I know. They put that light back in. Look what happens when you put that light back in.
Look at what happens.
Absolutely insane. But in all seriousness, they have a 3.5 minute time bank all the way to 3rd point. It is going to really take a miracle for Risingcord to at least get a minute above the clock towards that overtime, just so they can get something in a round 3, right? If we get a repeat of the sequences. Looks like still gonna be sticking with the same comp. Sambasca now going over to a Tracer, maybe dual Lilac a little bit more with the Tracer versus the Genji. They, them, and Sorry still gonna be on that Ash, still gonna be duking it out for those clean headshots, for that Dynamite. Lava Lilies, their goal is to full hold. I know that for a fact. Risingcord, sticking Tangerine on the Diva, and I'm not mad about that. Great choice from Risingcord.
Yeah. It's Tangerine is a bit of a diva player, so I feel like this is a good to stick to comfort, stick to what you know. I think that if they play properly, especially with that very speedy backline, they should be able to get a little bit of their toes onto the point.
Well, looks like we're already seeing Sambasca going for a little bit of that flank around the coast, but look, now Risingcord can be spinning them there. Sambasca gets found out by they, them, has to back up a little bit here. And ooh, a lot of angles being taken by Risingcord as they go towards a little room, where the mini pack is, forcing Blood Bunny to stay on the objective. Lilac coming onto the top part, forcing Star to use the coach gun and just cleanly takes care of her almost immediately. Now that is a very nice pick coming in from Lilac, and Sambasca gets stalled out by Blood Bunny. Can Tangerine get out with her Lucio? That is the question at bay.
I am also a little bit worried about if that Juno gets out alive. And it looks like Hollow ends up being the one to get picked off in the end. Unfortunate. Doesn't look like we really have any ults coming up from either team. We are possibly going to be seeing a Bob and a Pulse mid-fight, but that's kind of it. Nothing really game-changing about to happen on the ult bank. I did really like to see how Kaiju moved quicker. I think they just needed to have a target. They got a little bit lost once they got into the room next to point.
Yeah. Correction, I meant their Lucio, not her Lucio. Tangerine coming in real fast. There's a teleport, and ooh, they're going straight to that room here. Again, big Dynamite coming in from they, them once more, but they quickly recover. Risingcord now fighting for their lives out here. Double speed rings, but they, them is going to be able to shut down Hollow can't aim. They've lost their Lucio speed. They've also are not going to be able to find too much value by not being able to build up that sound barrier. Here comes Lilac, just shutting down Sorry, who is just honestly just getting picked off so often here. I love that Sambasca has gone back to the Echo, but they, them now has that Bob ready, and their aim is insane.
Speaking of aim, Sorry has completely made a bit of a 180 spot by going on to Symmetra. I know that that's been a character that she's been working on and finding some good spots for, has been working on, so maybe we'll see some good plays out of this.
Yeah, the Bob. Yeah, you're right. We have the Bob, and Bitsy Robin does have the Juno ultimate, the Orbital Ray, at their disposal. It just gotta rip it whenever possible. Surely she can soon once Kaiju does get regrouped together.
Kaiju, I would like to see open this fight, maybe by getting out of that room and popping the Juno ult.
Here he goes, the government rotating around towards the objective. Goes for Torpedo, wants to be safe, but found out by themselves. It's just them, and Hollow can't aim once more. Excuse me, was unable to rip out that orbital ray, and a little bit of a messy team fight for Kaiju, especially as we now have sub 1 minute to unlock this objective and hopefully get something started with the payload.
I saw that second teabag from Blood Bunny. You ain't slick. I see that teabag onto Sorry. It is very funny to see the dynamic that they have as being ex-teammates.
Okay, I'm having a quick little pause. Probably someone just disconnecting real fast. It's not the end of the road. It happens. But like I was saying, they have basically under a minute to get something on the board here. Whether it's a tick, well, it has to be all 3 ticks. Not even just a tick. It has to be all 3 ticks. Lava Lilies is playing extremely defensive and very punishing, in fact. Their playstyle, as I've been watching them play throughout the series, they're a very punishing team. If you make a mistake, if you use the wrong cooldown, if you use too many cooldowns, they're gonna send Lilac, they're gonna send Blood Bunny to come after you. They're gonna kill you for the smallest of mistakes, which Kaiju is kind of getting punished by so often.
And you do kind of see that punishment there in that last fight with how the supports got separated from the rest of their team and just immediately got pounced upon by both Blood Bunny and Lilacs, who I know work really well together to just make sure that they're able to punish anyone. That's what the Genji does really well at too. I do really hope to see Kaiju be able to pull it together. They have the ultimates to be able to push through and maybe be able to get a touch on this last fight here, but I am honestly not too confident. Lava Lilies is a team that has a ton of drive to win. These are both teams that have worked together for quite a while now, and they both have a ton of drive, don't get me wrong. But like Lava Lilies, you can tell after that first map, they locked in and they went, no, we do not want this to be a close fight at all. They are working together just very hard to make sure that they're denying Kaiju any sort of opportunity, and Kaiju just needs to, you know, step up a little bit more, meet them at that same level, which I know they have the ability to do. We've seen this team do really well before.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's Kaiju's always been there, always been one of the better teams in Calling All Heroes Rising Division. Just Lovely is just insane right now. As a recap for anyone kind of forgetting the ult right now, the ult economy right now, Kaiju Core has 43 seconds. They're coming up around 75% on both Symmetra Wall and the duplicate from Sandbox God. They have the Juno ultimate for Bitsy Robin. Lava Lilies has a little bit more advantage. They're about to get the rally from Tycho. They have a opposing orbital ray from Queen Bee, and Blood Bunny and Lilac both have their ultimates. They then just expended their Bob, so again, it could go either way now as we're unpausing back into the fray in just a couple of seconds. And now, like I said, they have to do something here with the orbital ray from Bitsy Robin.
They have to be aggressive. They have to be the one to use it first. They have to be the one speeding first. Ooh, I really like that teleport that they use. Just immediately flipping the point. Nicely done.
Yeah, they flip the point. They get the tick off as well. Sandbox God finds Tycho with the honing beam, but Blood Bunny and Lilac coupling themselves with the Terra Surge Blade combo means that Kaiju Core is just all up together. Sorry has the Symmetra Wall. They might be able to touch right in time, but with 5 seconds left to go, Hollow can't be the one to do it. It has to be someone else. And we see the duplicate go off, but there's no overtime contest. It's Lava Lilies taking it 2-0. Still not dropping a single map throughout the last 5 rounds of Swiss. Very well done from them. It is GG's all in chat, and the play of the game going over to Lilac.
I really loved this play here from Lilac. So just the second you see that Orisa will come out, he just pulls his blade out and starts just dominating, getting it on everyone who got pulled into it. I really do think Kaiju's plan of flipping the point could have worked if it weren't for the fact that Lava Lilies just had more ultimates than them in their bank.
They did. They had more ultimates. They had more sustainable ultimates. They could match ultimates with the orbital ray on both ends there. And then the combined power of the Terra Surge and the Dragon Blade just making everything picture perfect for Lilac to get the finishing kills. It was extremely well done from Lava Lilies Rising as they move forward to the round 6 of Swiss stages. And speaking of, we're going to be going to a very quick break just so I can get some standings updated for you guys and the next match on stream next. And we are back with our 6th and final round of these Swiss stages to close out today's stream. It is going to be Fireside S'mores, formerly Miss Emerald, and the last champion of Calling Out Heroes, Minor 2, coming right back at it against Crimdra, a team with some of the most amazing people on it. I'll just be so for real. Great team, great vibes, and this is going to be a really good one to close out today. I'm Samanevo, joined by the wonderful Mafia.
I'm very excited to see how this match is gonna turn out. I think both of these teams have some pretty great players, both in terms of skill as well as just like in personality. They're just very sweet people.
Absolutely. And let's start us off with our former champion, our reigning champion, may I say, Fireside S'mores coming up. Slight change on the roster here, but we see some of our favorites. We have Laser, she's gonna be on that tank, of course, Cowboy and Silly Girl duking it out on that on the DPS line, and Buon and Road in the back line. Buon coming back, I believe Laser coming back. Lots of fun stuff. And now as we transition over to we're gonna be transitioning over to Crimdra real fast. Crimdra doing a pretty solid performance last Minor as well. But Dizzo is back! I believe she couldn't play last Minor, but I'm glad she's back to bring Crimdra to victory on that Reinhardt, which she'll be running all day, most likely. Nightwing and Juniper gonna be on the DPS, supporting Reinhardt in Dizzo just kind of running in and doing Reinhardt things. Arani and Literal Me here on the backline, struggling, stressing out, keeping their Rhine alive in the midst of it all. Very excited to see both these teams here today as we start things off on Control as always.
I don't know if it's just wishful thinking, but I'm really hoping that Fireside S'mores agrees to doing a Rhine duel. I love when teams agree to do a Rhine duel, especially against Dizzo. Dizzo's just such a good player with the Rhine, has been playing Rhine for quite a while. Very excited to just get to see some Rhine plays, get to see some silly action. If we get the 1v1, I'm going to be so elated. I'm going to be over here yelling, get it all hyped up.
Screaming if we get a Rhine 1v1. A lot of teams do honor the Rhine 1v1. I want to say Lovelies and Crimdra fought, I want to say round 2 or 3 from yesterday, and it was like, hey, can we do a Rhine Ditto? And of course Blood Bunny was like, yo, I got you. So lots of teams are really chill. They'll run the Rhine, they'll have fun. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun anyway. Oasis is going to be where we start things off on for our round 6 control map. We have University, we have the, oh god, the other ones. Kind of irrelevant. Oh, Gardens is one of them, of course. And the Dive one. That's how I differentiate Oasis. Yeah. Like, Busan, I know all the ones. Oh, Ilios, I know all the sub-maps. Oasis, yeah, there's a Dive one and 2 Brawl ones. Call it a day.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with it. The dive one of Oasis. The last time I saw Crimdra play there was back during Kunoichi, another marginalized genders tournament, and I saw Dizzo do some very interesting plays on the Rhine involving the cars. I'm hoping to see some more people getting hit. As the Smith said, if a double-decker bus crashes into us, will you die by my hand?
Oh, and you will, and we
you will. You will die by Dizzo's hand.
Oh my goodness. So, speaking of, we're gonna have Gardens coming up first and foremost. That's the one, for anyone who doesn't know. It's gonna be the one with that bridge in the middle that, gives a lot of great high ground space to the defending side, and also a good place to attack on firstly, right? So, we are getting set up. We're in the game. Bless. Okay. I'm excited. Again, I'm very excited to see how we're gonna be doing things, or how we're gonna set things off, especially Fireside S'mores, who are looking like they're gonna be running, not the ball. Okay, it's Diva, Echo, Tracer. The Kiriko coming in for, I think. I can't have nothing.
Dizzo is on Diva.
Ooh.
I'm very. How is this gonna turn out? I know. We were just hyping up Dizzo as a beloved Rhine player, so I'm wondering how this is going to turn out. I trust Dizzo will do fine. They've been practicing.
I mean, only you know, is a testament to how well Ryan can play on a on Gardens, right? So we're going over with the D.Va. We have the Ashe. The Dynamite doesn't really get much Marani. And it looks like S'mores already set up on this aforementioned high ground I mentioned earlier. And just duking it out against Dizzle on this D.Va. Has to retreat, goes back to the high ground. And Dizzle is just meeting them there. Casey Honeycrisp. Wait, my observer? Wait. Well, Casey on the Tracer. Running it down, trying to find the value. We can't climb walls, but Horror Cowboy is going to be able to find some value by putting a little bit of pressure onto Charlotte, who unfortunately has to leave the deal behind. Dizzle trying to contest, but the objective hasn't been unlocked yet. It's a D-Mech into a kill, surely. There we go. Nicely done from Fireside.
Yeah, it was a very good map by Fireside. They've already have their D.Va ult coming up for this next fight. Neither of the teams really have much progress done on the Juno ultimate, which is going to be their best ultimates that they'll have. I would like to see Arani get some picks here. It looks like they're trying to go out here, get a little bit zesty with it, poke in.
Actually, right here. But I mean, Fireside S'mores has to retreat. I mean, Road not gonna build up any more of that Juno ultimate. Arani just kind of peppering in a lot of damage on the back line of Fireside S'mores. Blunt going down and Road. That's not what you want to see coming in from Fireside, who are trying to keep this objective in their favor. But the D-Mech from their D.Va, from Laser actually, not what you really want. Because this thing gets around 43%, we retake it for Crimja, and they have the D.Va bomb and the pulse bomb ready.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of which team uses their D.Va bomb better. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a very valuable ult. And Fireside S'mores does seem to have the upper hand here with also having the Tracer's pulse bomb at the ready. If they're able to get an early pick off, then they can settle that this is a secure fight. Just use that mech. Use the ultimate for remech, sorry.
Charlotte found out first by Laser, but we take a trade for Casey Honeycrisp from the side of Fireside S'mores. But unfortunately, without the brig to kind of keep up literal, they're gonna be the next one to fall victim to the to the aggression of Fireside S'mores. Now it's just gonna be a stagger era here. Dizzle gonna be expending the D.Va bomb here, but will they get the remake? Wait, they do. They can likely recontest, but the pulse bomb on Charlotte shuts it down. But I mean, the remake from Dizzle was kind of generational, I have to say.
Yeah, that was a really good use of bombs to get the remake in. Did end up surviving longer and being able to maybe get a little bit more touch in, but they still couldn't get a touch in. I do think that we are kind of seeing the consequences of a team that is so brawl heavy being forced onto a map that relies a little bit more on having to play that dive. They're not doing a terrible job at it. I just think they need to coordinate a little bit better, rework how to play a little bit.
The Juno, the Orbital Rays both crossing sides here. Speaking of, here's a cross of the backlines, losing your Juno for the brig here. Here comes the bomb from Laser, and Charlotte nearly able to escape by the skin of her teeth here. The Dragon Blade from Juniper might be generational. We gotta get a little bit of Carrot Blast for 0 health. Laser finds the melee to shut down Juniper, but without losing a couple of people off from the side of Fireside S'mores. And here's, of course, the rally from Blunt, thinking it's definitely viable. Fireside S'mores can absolutely take it here as they shut down Arani and Dizzle from contesting the point even any longer. We've now gone to 99%, and as Lucio swap here will be reigniting that overtime, but not for long with Horror Cowboy, making sure that Charlotte does not get the buy that she was looking for.
I did like Charlotte and Juniper's attempts at touching the point, Arani as well. However, I feel like they just staggered themselves a little bit too much on there to be an effective touch. If they maybe managed to get there at the same time, they probably could have held up a little bit enough to be able to get a touch, like, proper, like, recontest in, maybe. I low-key hope to see Dizzle swap over back to the Brawl on this map. It's definitely one that you can get away with doing that on. It does look like they are going to stick with playing. No, maybe you have Juniper on the Mei. You got the Rhine. We got the Rhine. Let's go.
We got it. Put Rhine back in. Dizzle said.
Put Rhine back in. This makes me very happy. Oh, this is going to be a beautiful comp to watch.
Oh, Hyper Ring already out. Here we go. They're going fast to this objective. Five Times More is going over to the high ground left side, leftmost side. And Crimdra opting to go to the more enclosed right side of the objective, playing around that mini pack. In fact, trying to low-key flip it a little bit here, but playing a little bit safer. They have a little bit of an advantage state being in this, being in the open area, while Five Sport has to meet them on the objective at some point. Love the swap over to the Arani, going to the Reaper instead to shred a little bit of that Diva armor as Laser tries to go in aggressively on the objective. The pin is great. Dizzo meets up with Laser, and I mean, what are you gonna do about the hammer? DM it? I love this from Dizzo, not putting a lot of pressure on the back line as a point starts to not go in favor of Crimson. We drop off the point for a second, and a good contest from Laser is going to be making sure that we keep this fight up even longer.
I really love the way that Crimson is playing this. They're very slow, methodical, taking their time, not rushing in as a lot of Ryans might be tempted to do. Does look like Horror Cowboy is going to be getting in and trying to take down the back line.
Oh, and with Laser's help, it's way easier done just like that. Arani still finds the pick on Road, so a little bit of a stagger there for the side of Five Star S'mores, but I mean, this is even a more worse one against Juniper. Not even able to find the Mei Cryo to sustain a little bit longer before the team was able to come back.
I think a disadvantage with the comp that Crimdra is running is that versus Dive, you have to play a little bit closer together to be able to really, like, protect your backline from that Diva when she does go in and she does get those dives. The Genji too is just really dangerous. Casey does have Pulse Bomb here, wondering, oh, doesn't get the chance to use it, does die.
Oh, just gets headshotted by Juniper. The Death Blossom expended in a very odd fashion, but I mean, it shreds the Diva armor, and the hammers don't help that either. We're going to be seeing both support ultimates be utilized by S'mores here, thinking this is going to be winnable, but the shatter, just make sure that Laser does not get anything, just gets completely shattered down the floor there. Very nice team fight coming in from Crimdra, and if they can get a little bit of a stagger on, that'd be great, but opting to back out while Literal Me, ooh, just gets the slight edge there in the 1v1.
Crimdra is coming up on that Juno ult, while Fireside S'mores has already expended theirs. I am a little bit curious as to how, if they're also going to use their Mail. I would expect them to use Juno ult. Maybe Mail if the Diva uses all of her util, because like otherwise she's just kind of able to get away from that. Same with the Genji and the Tracer, just not a very good team to really have that Mail against.
Have to be careful, Literal Me getting shot down, but Juniper saves the day by taking care of Horror Cowboy. Laser able to follow up on Literal Me, so there's not gonna really be a Juno ultimate for the side of Crimdra. But the pulse gets expended, and Honeycrisp is down for the count. Reinhardt is not going down with Dizzo controlling the keyboard here. 77% against Fireside S'mores is amazing, and they're gonna want to recontest sooner than later for Fireside.
Crimdra did manage to hold on to their ults for that fight too, not actually needing them. I do think they were definitely going to need them for when Fireside tries to recontest, especially since you have that blade. If you use the Juno ult in time, then you'll be able to just sustain, hold them up. Looks like the Diva's going to try and dive in. You got the Mayo coming out too.
The Mayo separates everyone from Laser, but Honeycrisp now on the Sojourn will be shutting down Arani, who will not be able to build up that Death Blossom any faster. Here comes his blade, the blade and Orbital Ray from the side of Fireside S'mores, and just like that, they clean it up at 99% to their 38. Crimdra having the Shatter, having the Death Blossom though, and the Rally! Wait, this is gonna be generational.
Ooh. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting fight for sure. Hopefully, it looks like Arani is looking to get a bit of an early touch in as Dizzo is starting to pull forward. Yep, does get the teleport in. Pin off the map? Not a pin off the map.
Oh, not sure. Oh, but we get a big slam on the stairs, and the Death Blossom as a result. Oh, absolutely well done from Crimdra as they now go straight to the objective. I would have wanted Charlotte to save that rally for a little bit longer, just in the event of a recontest from Laser, who's trying their best. Good whip shot, though, means that Laser will not be getting that recontest. It is 1-1 on Oasis.
I love to see a well-timed whip shot. Any sort of well-timed boop just makes me so very happy. Just a really good use of that. Nice play from Charlotte, despite the fact that they didn't have the that she didn't have the ultimate to really prevent a touch. Well-timed whip chop saves the day, easy. Crimja is going to be sticking on Ryan on this map from the look of it, unless they're just slow to swap. This is the map. This is the silly car map. Oh, laser. Oh, she is giving us a treat with some wrecking ball action. This is going to be exciting.
Ooh, and we're sticking onto the ball. We have the ball and the Zenyatta from Road here, so both these characters a little bit not as played as often as Brig, Ana, Kiriko, for example. But the verticality that Laser does get out now is gonna be so good for her on this ball here. But gotta be super careful about Arani on that Reaper who can shred ball pretty quickly. So the follow-up from Fireside Morris has to be pretty much impeccable for this to work out.
Yeah. Ooh,
My flying Zen?
Zenyatta in the air. Throwback to the April Fool's patch. Hello.
I miss it every day. One finds Arani with the whip shot. Honeycrisp just gonna be shutting down Jupiter at the same time on the Tracer. Oh wait, this is a dive. This is literal me just said. Let me just take the taxi home real fast. Don't worry about it. You don't gotta worry about me.
Took the midnight train going anywhere, and anywhere is to death. Sorry, I am in a song quoting mood.
Oh, you are completely
Looks like we're gonna be holding a buff here to try and get a
sneaky pummel. Ooh.
Sneaky little pummel down.
Oh, Jennifer not going over to the Cassidy, just kind of not thinking that. Well, I think that's gonna work a little better. The Hinder is so good against Laser on that ball. Which, speaking of, but we die, not getting the care needed by the backline, who's getting peppered by Horror Cowboy over and over again. Exuzu has been finished so early on, and literally so vulnerable on that Kiriko without that imperative cooldown. Arani getting kicked to the dirt by Road. Wow, this composition from Fireside S'mores is working out wonderfully.
It especially works out well against the Ryan composition because it's a wrecking ball. His entire job is to make your team turn around and not look. And if your Reinhardt's not able to be at the front, if he's having to protect your team because your cast gets picked out early, you're just not able to actually do anything to stop the wrecking ball. I mean, you can just continue looking at him if you want, but as we see, wrecking ball just continues to get that value out.
It's unfortunate because Ryan also just can't peel in time, has only the charge as a peel factor, and once Ryan doesn't have it, now he's just a sitting duck for the angles that Fireside Swords is forcing onto the Reinhardt. So Dizzo, she has a little bit of work to do here. We've gone to the Orisa, unethical Orisa pick. Oh my goodness, 80% on the board here.
Very. Looks like they're gonna be on the deep. Ooh, okay, that's a good stick. Looks like they're gonna get the Diva D-Max really early.
Oh, that's huge. That's absolutely massive for Fireside S'mores. So calculated, so patient, so planned out. The pulse bomb, a tickle in Laser's face as she's laughing. It's all up to Arani, who doesn't really have the recall to keep this overtime wick alive. But a map taking off of the champion of last minor is great for Crimja as Fireside S'mores takes a W 2-1 on Oasis. I hope they're gonna go Kings Row. I hope they go Kings Row.
Please go Kings Row. Please go Ryan's Row. Kings Ryan. Whatever it's
Dizzo's
called.
Row.
Dizzo Row. Please take us there. I feel like this could have gone a lot better for Crimja if Oasis happened to be a map that Ryan would work better on, or that any sort of Brawl would work better on. I do like that they did lean into the meta with the Diva pick. However, comfort picks, especially in Rising, tend to always shine through above that meta. So it's just unfortunate, really, that the starting map had to be one that they're just not super strong on. These were some pretty close fights, though, even though Crimja is a little bit less familiar with that Diva character. They had some really good plays there. It's just a matter of working together and getting a little bit more synchronized on it. And with that ball composition that we saw for a while, just a matter of just giving the ball a little bit less attention, maybe, or trying to do a little bit more to try and help supports, keep them up, just keep the ball away from getting early picks out.
Absolutely. Laser's ball was absolutely amazing to watch, and the coordination from Fireside S'mores makes me kind of think they've been screaming that comp a little bit more often than like the Diva comp that we saw earlier from them. Even though it was very good, I feel like the ball just had that follow up from both Horror Cowboy and Casey Honeycrisp on that DPS line. You know, they were just really good at finding literal meat on the Kiriko so often on that third engage. We saw and you know, shutting down Juniper and Charlotte Finley getting any value on their respective roles. So very well done from Fireside S'mores as we are, you know, waiting for the word on the next map. I'm thinking, I mean, you could be anything. You could go Hybrid, you can go Escort, you can go Clash, Flashpoint. It's really up to Crimdra, what they feel most comfortable running with. We did expect the KR. That's what I am kind of looking for. Or even any Hybrid or Escort map as a second map here. But we have the freedom of any mode, any map. And most teams, I think, have been most comfortable going over to the Hybrid next, just because it's kind of like in our blood to go Hybrid next. But,
yeah. It's a
Like,
standard of going, you got the control, you have to do the Hybrid next. If you get it out of order, then what are you supposed to do? I know some teams, yesterday, for example, Crimja did end up actually, in their matchup with Lava Lilies, I believe, they went Clash
yes, they did.
second, which was a really interesting decision. I know Clash is actually a favorite map, a favorite mode for many. However, I do see why they would pick it, because Rhine and like Brawl can be really good on those.
Especially on Anubis, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Anubis in particular. I know our tank for our fruity little team has run some very silly little Reinhardt plays on Anubis.
Not too much of my go, no. Not too much of my go.
Not to mention the go. I mean, yeah, I'm very curious to see what they're gonna pick.
They are gonna be picking King's Row, from what we
can
gather here, so I'm very excited to see. Looks like defense is gonna be going over to S'mores' side, so ideally they want to go for a full hold. Crimdra has to be the attacker, has to be the aggressor first, and kind of we already know what they're gonna run. They're gonna run the Reinhardt. They're gonna run maybe the Mei, which I would love to see the Mei Reinhardt duo back online here on King's Row. Regardless, it's gonna be a banger because that control point, I must be honest, was a lot closer than I had kind of expected to see between Crimdra and Fireside, where Crimdra in the very long-standing team have been around for multiple minors and majors at this point. I want to say for at least since Major 1, they've been around, give or take, and their improvement from the beginning of the season from the circuit to now has been monumental. Fireside S'mores, we've been with them for the past two events we've had, for Minor 2 and now Minor 3, and they have been very consistently great at with their team, with their synergy. So the fact that Crimdra is able to keep it pretty even with them only speaks so much about how much they've improved as players and as a team in the past couple of months.
Fireside S'mores immediately showing us the composition they run around the Orisa with that Venture. As we mentioned for matches earlier with Venture, you really want to make sure you're following up on what they are like targeting. So they'll have to make sure that they play around that. Crimdra's only given us a peek at 2 of their characters so far. It looks like it's going to be Juniper on Dizzle on the Orisa. I don't hate it. The Dizzle Orisa is not bad. I'm excited to see some Orisa on Orisa action.
Ooh, Arani trying to go for a first picture on the Widowmaker. I think they're going to be sticking onto it even longer, so she has a little bit of work cut out for her, as only Casey Honeycrisp can really contest her in any way, shape, or form. On the other side of things, like you said, Horror Cowboy on that Venture. I hope Fireside S'mores can follow up as well as they did on that ball competition with Laser. Now on the Orisa, goes for that Javelin toss, goes double spin, expended for both Orisas here. But Dizzo, oh my god, it's so even. But look at this, Arani in the thick of it all. Gonna be clipping Casey Honeycrisp's head clean off. And that's the pick that Crimson needs in order to make an appearance. But Laser is just an unrelenting force. And Juniper falling down to Horror Cowboy on that venture. Not what you want to see so far, but oof, they are pushing back nicely.
I do. Oh. Ooh. Okay, that's a really good purple out from them. I feel like, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a lost fight, but it's nothing to be too concerned about. Crimja is quickly building up that Juno ultimate, which she can just run in and dominate with. Especially Riff Orisa, I feel like Juno is a little bit more friendly to play with the Orisa versus with the Orion, just because you're able to move a little bit quicker. You're able to get a little bit more of a power in.
Yeah, I had to agree with you. And Crimja had the right opening to just literally Laser's cooldown management was so good that she just was unmovable, unstoppable. Immovable force meets a unstoppable object really between the two Orisas here. So it really is a highlight being shown on the DPS, especially Arani, who's looking for one on the Ana. I love the pushback from Dizzo, making sure that the supports can't really get too much value by seeing Laser, but I mean, Laser seeing the backline of Crimja is even worse, forcing Dizzo to kind of back up immediately and regroup with her team.
I like that Dizzo immediately acknowledged, like, okay, my team's down, I need to get out of here, I don't want to get staggered anymore. Very, very smartly played. It does look like Arani's gonna be swapping to... Ooh. Okay, I don't hate this swap, the Pharah. I do think this will allow for a little bit more pokeability, which should favor Crimja more, get everyone low, force them to have to use their nade, force them to have to use their drill.
Going straight in, here comes the Terra Surge. And of course, Literally wants to use that orbital ray early on, but I mean, in the thick of the Terror Surge being expended by Laser, Dizzo's all by themselves can't get too much value off of the orbital ray, and that's a good hold from Fireside. A minute left from the clock here. Dizzo has Terror Surge. Juniper's coming up on that Dragon Blade, and Charlotte is going to be having the rally for the sustain, so hopefully they can do something with it.
I feel like this is a similar thing that we saw with Lava Lilies versus Kaiju, of where Lava Lilies and Fireside both tend to play in very... Ooh! Yeah, they both tend to play in a very punishing type of way, of where they wait for the other team to make a move before they really do anything.
Dizzo going for the Terror Surge with no HP. Not the best thing we could have done there, but we still have the Dragon Blade and the Rally in the back pocket for Crimdra. Fireside S'mores has the Bob for free contest. Has the Tectonic Shock from the Venture. And I don't think our run is able to get too much done here in the 1v1 against Horror Cowboy. So that's another factor in Crimdra's game plan here.
I do like this rotation that Dizzo is making. I do think it may be a little bit better to make it with a few more of your teammates. The rally does get popped out though. I like that.
Oh, comes the Dragon Blade. The sleep is missed. We find because Jennifer finds two. Can we find the third? That being Road.
Oh.
And we absolutely do not. Road finds the melee in the nick of time. Not a single tick on the board, but a very good attempt from Crimdra. Had some shining moments. Now it's just all up to Fireside S'mores to get just a single tick on there to win King's Row.
I think if Crimdra wanted to make a swap, that they should have done that swap a little bit earlier than when they only had one fight left. I didn't hate the swap. We just have to wait and see what they're going to be playing for this hold. Fingers crossed that Crimdra does stick with a poke comp. I do think that doing poke or brawl when you're defending is going to look a lot better than if you do try to play something like D.Va. Orisa's a really good character to play right now, as we've seen a lot of. It looks like they're going to be running out with Mei and Bastion. I don't despise that. Fireside S'mores, on the meantime, is going to be playing the Wrecking Ball composition again, something that they seem to be pretty good at doing.
Oh wow, sorry. I just had to look at the bracket really fast. I want to update everyone. So far, Buzzcare Jr., the only team so far reported to have taken a map off of Lava Lilies Rising.
Oh, that is a very...
I just want to update everyone real fast as we start to get prepare for the attack side of Fireside S'mores. I just want to check bracket, in the meantime, see the standings, and I got jump scared. I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyway, back to this, we're gonna be seeing Fireside S'mores run the ball comp again, which had so much value in that third attack phase. I'm sorry, the third round of Oasis. I'm sorry. And Crimja going back to our roots, going for the Reinhardt, the Mei, the Bastion, the Bap, the Juno, a new addition. Laser going all the way to the backline. She is fiending for this Baptiste, and Little Me has to be so careful, but gets interrupted. Instead, goes for the pummel. Still finds Little Me. The big wall off, however, from Jupiter. Actually killing Literal Me before the fight really started. Fireside S'mores now having a big lead up here by 2 players. Dizzo fighting her best to just protect her Bastion, but with the Discord on her, she has to be so careful how she weaves in and out of this objective, but that's all that she wrote. It is going to be a tick on the board, a W for Fireside S'mores with no contest. Very well done, quick and easy for Fireside S'mores. Crimja still playing so well, and as I had mentioned, they leveled up so much as a team. So even though they did not hit the W today, they still played amazing against Fireside.
Yes, I really liked the way that they played. I think this is a team that they haven't played in a minor, so they just need to work together, get a little bit back into the groove. You know, I'm still not over that Mei wall. I looked at it and my heart broke. I feel like if that didn't happen, it could have been a lot better of a fight for Crimja, and it just hurts to see that. But small mistakes like that, they happen. It is what it is. Like I said, I think that that's just a result of the fact that this is a team that hasn't been able to play in a minor, so they just need to get a little bit of catching up to do. They just need to work together a little bit, get a little bit more coordinated, communicate a little bit better, be like, hey, break your wall, please.
And on the other side of things, Fireside S'mores did an absolutely fantastic job all around. I mean, the second point of control was heavily favored for Crimja, and Crimja leaned into that extremely well. But then Fireside S'mores realized once they get those angles on Dizzo, on that Reinhardt, once they get their setups with the ball, especially with Laser on that ball, oh, they were cooking. So GG's in chat for everybody. Everyone played absolutely amazing for the past 2 days. Off stream and on stream and off stream, and I'm very proud of all of basically you're all my friends. I'm very proud of all my friends for doing amazing today. I'm very happy for our producers. I'm very thankful for our observers today as well. Thank you to Moth for joining in on the broadcast for the first time and doing an absolutely slamming job as well. So pat on the back for you guys.
It's been amazing to get to be able to cast alongside you and be able to work with, our amazing producer, even though she trolled us a little bit there, heartbroken, but still. Love our producer. Very fun experience for sure, and I'm excited to see how next week goes when we go into the bracket stage.
Top 8 bracket is going to be insane. There's going to be some teams who've never been in the top 8 bracket going to top 8. There's some teams that we usually expect to be in the top 8 bracket who are not going to be there, and that's a-okay. We still had Major 3 lined up. We still have last chance qualifiers also for this season, so I am not too worried for our usual teams. I am very excited to see next week's bracket unfold. In the meantime, that is all we have for you guys. We'll be back next week to start off and hopefully finish up that top 8 bracket we had mentioned earlier. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. You guys all played amazing, and we'll see you guys next week.